Welcome to Concussion Talk Podcast. I'll be talking to Jim Scott, who I first heard on Jan Blanchette's podcast, and we'll be talking about. I really want to talk to him, so we're going to be talking about his message, his severe brain injury, um, and more, and his recovery in New Hampshire and Boston, and about the Krempels Brain Injury Center. So that's in New Hampshire, and he is a big fan of that place. So we'll have a very interesting conversation. So please stay tuned for that. And before I start, I want to thank my sponsor, Head Check Health. Head Check Health bridges gaps in concussion care through simple, powerful technology. Join organizations like the Canadian Football League, Track Factory Racing, the Canadian Junior Hockey League, Eastern Washington University, and Volleyball Canada, who rely on HeadCheck to improve communication and optimize care. Visit headcheckhealth.com for more. And please, you can subscribe, rate and review this podcast wherever you get podcasts. So whether that be Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Good Pods, Stitcher, wherever else, Google, whatever else. And please check out the sponsors, the advertisers. Sorry, check out the advertisers on my own page. So at the advertisers at www.concussiontalk.com. Thank you very much. And here's Jim Scott. Okay, I'm with Jim Scott now, and Jim Scott is an author, a TBI survivor, and a motivational slash cautionary speaker. So he's going to speak to all of that. But so first of all, just who is Jim Scott? Like, so can you tell me? Because as I mentioned to you beforehand, I heard you on the TBI Therapist podcast, and I really liked how you just described your that's a bad way to say it, but I appreciate how you said how you described your injury and what happened and stuff. So could you start off with that? Like how did you become a TBI driver and your steps went through?
All right, cool. Yeah, so thanks for having me. I'm um I'm 40 now, but when I was 23, I had gotten in a really bad car accident. I was drinking and driving, I was partying, and I drove into the woods. And I don't remember anything from about the middle of June 2006. And then I woke up August 10th. My accident was July 4th.
Well,
Or but yeah, so I had a diffuse axonal injury. So
I think that's what I had too.
yeah, so it's scattered around. The
Yeah,
brain basically shook inside my skull, and a lot of damage to the frontal lobe on the right side predominantly. So I have some left side weakness and hemiparesis, but I've had an amazing recovery. I've been really blessed. So recovery, as I'm sure you know, the brain injury is not like anything else. It's not like a broken bone
yeah,
where you're just like 6 weeks in a cast, you're good to go. It's kind of like, you know, sounds depressing, like, but when the brain cells die, they die, and
yeah,
they don't. So you have to recruit other parts of your brain, like neuroplasticity, to do the same tasks. So that took a long time, like rewiring, and
yeah,
I had a lot of e-stem electric braces and stuff like that. I mean, to the point like now, like honestly, like I still have, I have a limp and reduced
yeah,
strength on my left side, and my fine motor skills and particularly my left side are really, really pretty poor. But I don't. There's really nothing about me physically that stands in the way of me living a normal life. So I'm really blessed in that regard. But a
yeah,
lot of the stuff that is a consistent challenge is, the emotion regulation, the executive functioning, so the working memory, organization, initiation, like stuff like that. That you don't really notice until something happens or something's difficult. But really the big thing for me though is, I mean, I have an amazing family, and extremely supportive. I have a younger brother who is 4.5 years younger than me, and 15 months before my accident, he had a spinal cord injury, which was
Yeah.
really shook my family up. Obviously, he's paraplegic. He's doing great. He's in a wheelchair, but he's he's
True.
married. He's a high school teacher. He
True.
does amazing. But then I had my accident.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a broken. Like it was like you got to be kidding this happen again. I can only imagine what my family went through. But so it was kind of in a weird way. My family had some experience with the whole rehabilitation community, and I had unbelievable services. I was really blessed, and I moved in with my parents after I got out of the hospital, the rehab hospital. I was in the hospital overall for 3 months.
You're in Boston, right?
Oh yeah, I was at Beth Israel in Boston Medical.
You're in New Hampshire.
I live in southern New Hampshire though, right on the
Okay.
Portsmouth, New Hampshire, is on the little seacoast here, right on the
Okay.
border of Maine. It's a beautiful area. I love it here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so I moved out when I got out of the hospital. I moved in with my parents up, and they had built a house in Cape Nettic, and I did outpatient rehab. I think it was like 4 or 5 days a week for 2 years. It was
Yeah.
very intense, and I was lucky to be able to do it. My family really helped me out, supported me. They drove me there, and I made incredible progress. And I was really blessed. But I think the biggest thing that changed my life is I got plugged into a community-based day program right here in Portsmouth. It's called the Krempels Center, and
Right.
that's
Yes.
where I met Dr. Jen Blanchette. And
Right.
it's just an amazing place, and I still go whenever I can. It's not like rehab, and it's not like a medical setting at all. It's like more of a clubhouse, and
So
we do
can you tell
unbelievable.
us a bit more about that place? Because that place is not something I mean, I'm with the Brain Injury Association here. We're trying to get groups together, but I think
Yeah,
having one place is so explain just what do you do there? I'm
well,
honestly
I'll tell you because it's hard. It's almost a little hard to explain because it's
yeah.
so one of a kind, kind of like. But if the website is krempelscenter.org, Krempels center.org, and
Okay.
that has a really good explanation. But basically, what it is so there's a amazing man. His name is David Krempels, and I've become pretty friendly with him. Great guy, and
Yeah.
he was a active builder contractor and got married, and he got rear-ended by an 18-wheeler on his honeymoon, and his wife passed away. It
Mm.
was horrific, and he had a
Oh geez.
severe traumatic brain injury, and
Yeah.
fortunate to be alive, but obviously, as you know, coming back from brain injury is quite challenging. And so he went through all that and couldn't work anymore, and he financial ruins basically. And a few years went by, and he had a settlement with the trucking company for quite a bit of money, and he took a lot of the money, and he started at the time it was a grant giving organization called the Krempels Brain Injury Foundation. And then he kind of realized, working with a social worker and some of the other members at the time, or the people that they'd helped, that what people really needed was social engagement and friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he started a day program and meet 3 days a week, phenomenal, from 10 to 2. And so in the morning, basically, when I go, like, it's the same as it's been. It's been unbelievable. I go, and we have a morning meeting from 10:15 to 11, where we go over the day schedule, the groups, and you pick what groups you want to go to. And it's just, and then there's some fun stuff too, announcements, this day in history, some trivia, which is, it's fun. And people are, I remember the first day I went there, I had in my head that I was fine because I had done all
Yeah.
this rehab. I don't need anything else. And,
Yeah. Yeah. Been there. Yes.
little, I mean, when the first day I went there, I didn't have a license. I couldn't really walk
Mm.
that well. My dad had to walk me in there, and I
Yeah.
met with the lady in the lobby. She was at the time a program coordinator. And she was like, "So what do you want? What do you want to do?" I said, "I don't need any help. I just want to volunteer."
Yeah.
And so she was like, "Well, why don't you go to the morning meeting, and then we'll talk about what you think you might want to do." And when I went in the meeting, it was just like the first time I was in this environment of like people that were just living life, human beings. Everyone
Yeah.
was laughing, having a new time, friends,
Yeah.
and I wasn't worried about my limp or like forgetting names or that I looked funny or whatever. So I just was like, you know what? I don't think I want to do anything. I want to just hang out. And I've been hanging out for
Yeah.
like 14 years now, so it's going pretty well. But
Long
no,
hand.
so it's just an amazing place. I mean, the
Nice.
groups are anything from emotional support groups, um, entertainment groups, trivia groups, to artistic groups, like just really enrichment for quality of life. But also you don't realize, but you're like getting more social, your
Yeah.
conversation skills, your memory, um, word retrieval, all these things are getting better, but you're having a good time. So it's not like
Yeah.
therapy, it's amazing. But so I still go whenever I can. And it's just amazing. I've created some of the greatest friendships I have in my life at this
Yeah.
place. So
Yeah.
we're fortunate because in Portsmouth they have a community campus, it's called, and it's a big building. It's got to be 10,000 square feet, but it has a gymnasium, has classrooms, has a cafeteria. So it's amazing. It's like resembles maybe like a good sized elementary school, and like
Yeah.
all
Oh,
this stuff. And so it houses the whole program, and it's on the pretty good public transportation here in Portsmouth, which is great. And
that is
I
good.
was driving when I started going there, so it was right on the line, and I
Yeah.
would go there. But it's an amazing place, and it's interesting. Like I was never a good student, and I wasn't a bad kid, but I was kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Well, I am kind of lazy even to this day, but like I I started doing some writing in a writing group there, and I loved it. And I was like, wow, this is really really therapeutic. So I kept doing it, and I ended up writing a memoir of my
Yeah.
whole experience I have in my life and then my accident. And it's been really a blessing. Like it opened up a lot of opportunities. I had started doing some public speaking in a group we have a group at Krempels called Community Education, and you basically learn how to tell your story and how it can benefit the community, and then talk about the program and what a community-based day program is and what you get out of it and stuff like that. But then when I would go to schools, I noticed like my story was pretty applicable to kids just starting to drive, as
Yeah.
far as like don't drink and drive and be more responsible. And so I could use that as kind of like
Yeah.
something that's good to come of it, and like I kept doing that, and I had my book, and it opened up a lot of opportunities. I've been really really blessed to be able to reach a lot of people, so it's been great.
So what before we, because we'll mostly talk about other stuff, but what is the name of your book so people
Oh, the
can start
book's
checking it
called
out?
yeah, it's called More Than a Speed Bump.
By Jim.
And actually, I have a website, actually, morethanaspeedbump.com.
I'll put
But
that in
it's
the show notes. That's in
yeah,
that'll be in the show notes. I really
yeah,
love.
that's great. But
Yeah.
on the website, I really, because I do like to write and enjoy
Yeah.
it. But I feel like a lot of the stuff that even if you're a brain injury survivor, you're still a human being, and like people go through everything. Everyone, you still go through stuff, and I've had many things happen since my accident that are
Yeah.
just life,
You're
and like
you're still living life and like
yeah, it's just interesting to put that perspective on it and try to connect with people like that. So it's pretty cool, and that's been
yeah.
great. I contact a lot of people I get in touch with about the speaking I do in the community at schools or social groups, whatever, and like through the website, which has been really, really, really a gift.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so much I want to actually, and I've more thought of it as you were speaking. That the thing is, there's a lot of stuff you mentioned to Dr. Blanchette in the other podcast about how like therapy can seem as like oh good you go to therapy you meet people there, but it does feel like it's I know you know you like your therapists are fantastic. Like mine were great too, and I'm like you had a good family, great life support, love place to live, and great therapist. But it also is just like it is therapy. It is you could go in a hospital kind of to that does burn you a bit.
Well, I think the big thing is like I think it's a human being thing. I think we all want to be seen as humans and people,
Yeah,
and I think it's hard when and it's of no fault of medical providers or
no,
therapists or anything, but like
but just life.
they're doing a job, and like
Yeah,
you're a client. It's like a interesting
yeah,
relationship, like you're the project almost,
yeah,
and like even like you can. I honestly find
yeah,
myself like sometimes fall into that trap. Like I look at myself like I got to get better. I got to get better. Like no, I need to live my life.
yeah. Exactly. And you
That's like
don't want to disappoint so and so your therapist
yeah,
by not doing this or not improving this much, and yeah,
Yeah, it's, I mean, obviously you don't want to give up on improvement, but you need to live, and
yeah,
it's just like and I like to think of it as like all humans still try to better themselves in some way. They still try, they read, they try to learn new things. They might go to the gym, they might have hobbies, and that's just like at some point you got to turn the corner from it's all about rehab and getting better to I'm living a life, like, and
yeah,
I always say like the Krempels Center, at rehab and therapy taught me how to function, and at Krempels is where I learned how to live. Like
right,
two different things,
yeah,
function and live, but
yeah,
it's really been an amazing place. I mean, definitely check out the website. It's
yeah.
amazing.
And that will also be in the show notes as well as
Great.
link to Jim's book. So Jim's got more of the speed bump, but I'll also link to the Krempels. So Krempels Center,
Center.
Center. So it's in Canada, we spell it RE. So
Yeah.
yeah, but so it'll come up. They'll find it. I mean, Google is
Awesome.
smart. And but yeah, but you also mentioned people want to do new things, but you say you're very sound the podcast. I thought was just so obviously so right because we're at the same way we think of the stuff and we're same
Mhm.
background, not same background, I see in different countries, but like, that brain injury is like everything is new. Every experience everything you like we play sports, being there plays for sports with the brain injury with their disabilities and stuff. And so should talk about that, how everything you get all the experiences, all your skills are new now, even though they may be old skills or old habits, they're new because they're arranged.
It's kind of that's an interesting point. Like, there's a saying that comparison is the thief of joy, and I think about that a lot. And
I love that saying. I was trying to think of it. I thought it was like the death. No, death does not a thief is.
yeah, and I don't even know who said it. I think a few different people have said it over the years, but it's almost
So
impossible
yeah,
for all human beings to like not to stop comparing what it was like and what it's like, what our lives are like now, and like, oh, that was better. I'm not as good anymore. I'm not as fast. I'm not as strong. And it's really tough when for me, I should say, as I've
yeah,
gotten back to like doing a lot of the things I have, did when I was growing up and did before my accident, to let go of like better or worse and like
yeah.
comparing.
That is
And
so
like, I
hard.
mean, sports is more of a tangible thing because like
Yeah,
I love golf. I love to golf,
yeah,
and I played golf in college, and I mean, I wasn't like Tiger Woods, but I was pretty good.
yeah,
And then I all of a sudden I couldn't even hold on to the club at first, and like now I
yeah,
can play.
yeah,
And if I'm always trying to like shoot the lowest score I've ever shot in my life, and otherwise I'm not happy, I'm never gonna have fun because
yeah,
I'm a realist. Chances are I'm never gonna shoot the best score of my life again.
yeah,
I mean, but I can get better than I was yesterday, and I'm certainly improving.
yeah,
And so it's fun. And I think it's weird too. Like a lot of things. I mean, even like doing like 5Ks for charity. Like I don't even think I can run. I don't consider it running, but I move as fast as I can.
yeah,
And
exactly.
like
Huh.
it's if
Yeah,
I can get a better time than I got last year in
yeah,
a certain race, then I'm happy. It doesn't really matter
yeah,
that it's not
yeah,
the fastest I've ever done. And like
yeah,
that's a tough, I think, for a young person. And I mean, I don't know, for myself too, as a young guy, like I want to win things. I
yeah,
want awards. I want a
yeah,
recognition,
exactly.
and I need to learn to like be proud of the effort and the process of getting things done and achievements, not necessarily the accolade that comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause for me, like I was listening to when I was 23 as well, and I played water polo, I swam, I was doing triathlon at the time, and I swam for triathlon for water polo, but I can't play water polo anymore, and swimming is I was seeing the left side weakness is your left side, I don't know,
Yeah,
discoordination, whatever it is, and it's so my swimming is a lot slower, and same thing. I'm never gonna be back to my pace as I was when I was 23, but swimming every day, swimming a lot is just just feels so good. It's just so good to know that you're doing something right that feels good for you. That's improving. That you're improving from your new reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing
You
as
know,
I've never do a triathlon because I can't run, can't bounce on a bike. But I mean, say can't, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
And so, but I am, but I'm swimming outside. I'm swimming in these like I'm doing a lot of stuff that I can't believe I'm doing. And that's it's amazing. I mean, what place to be at. It's weird to say that like life is not better after brain injury because you don't say that, but it does feel like you've kind of. Well, I'm for not okay for you, but for me, it feels like I've kind of got a chance to live a second life, even though I didn't really need that. Didn't need to add that opportunity, but it is an opportunity that was presented for me that I think differently and I look at the world entirely differently and
yeah,
yeah, it's just yes.
yeah. I'm sorry. So you had an injury when you were 23, is it?
Yeah.
What kind of injury was it,
I was in
dude?
a cycling accident. I was going downhill on a
Cycling.
bike and I was across country in Victoria, BC, and I went off the road to the woods when I climbed to a tree and ended up in a coma for 2 weeks. And then 5 months in inpatient rehab and a month,
Yeah,
6 weeks hospital, inpatient rehab, and then 2 years of year and a half of outpatient rehab. That was
yeah,
so
yeah. So yeah,
very similar to you.
yeah.
It's very not very similar, but same trajectory and like parents and my family have just been amazing and my
Mhm.
friends here and where I live and stuff. But
Did you go to college or?
yeah, I finished my grad the year before that. I went to university in Kingston, Ontario, and I
Mhm.
finished my at Queens, and I finished the year before that, and then I was doing actually doing my master's of public administration in Victoria, BC at the time of the accident. It was just a Friday
Yeah,
bike ride, and I was gonna start I had already accepted the terms and stuff and set up my job in in Ottawa in the Canada's capital, and I
yeah,
was gonna work there for 8 months, and as part of the work term for my program, and I decided with that and get back to Ontario to see my friends from university, and but then it all changed,
yeah.
and that although that does sound like when I say it like that, it sounds like oh it's bad, but it was bad. Like I'm not gonna say it was a good
Yeah.
thing, but I mean it's a good thing that now that is just an opportunity to look at life in a new way and just live two lives in one kind of thing. It's like
So how long ago was this?
that was in '03
Oh, three.
when I was injured, and then it was so it's been
Yeah,
you know almost 20 years now. It'll be 20 years in
yeah,
August. And
yeah.
yeah, just same thing. It's like,
Yeah, it's weird too. I find like a lot of times when I'll talk, be at school talking, whatever, and a
yeah,
kid or someone will ask me if my life's better or worse,
yeah,
and I always think like I honestly can't even answer it. Like
yeah,
it's
exactly.
different. It's
Yeah,
different, you know. Like
yeah,
I will say the only thing I can say for sure is everything is harder. Everything's more
yeah,
difficult than it used to be, but that
yeah,
doesn't make it worse, you know. Like
exactly.
things are just different, and like I don't know. I sometimes I mean the adjustment is difficult, and like
Yeah,
I'm not fully. I don't. I mean, I'm a lot better than I was, but I'm not like fully used to it. Like I still have moments, and I'm like,
I'm
oh,
not.
that's right. I can't run or I can't do whatever, you know.
Yeah,
But like I don't really have anything to compare. Like wasn't really.
exactly.
I had been just got out of college, and I hadn't really lived an adult like work, pay bills, like independent
Yeah,
life. So I don't really have anything to compare it to. So this is like first go
exactly.
around,
The
you
same
know.
thing to me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it is a weird question. I was like, it is that same thing with you. Like, so where did how was your life changed? It's like, well, I'm 20 years older than I was when I was injured. That's how it changed. And
Yeah.
I mean, so or you're 16, you were 17, you're 06, so you're 17 years,
Yeah. So it'll be
17 years.
17 in July. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like so you don't really know how you know you're different is that what's changed is that you've aged 17 years, but it's
Mhm.
I mean. and people don't want to hear, people want to hear some deep thing about how like my screen's
Yeah.
not messed up. You get a reflection on my elbow on your head, and it's bugging me. But yeah, but it's just like it's. I find that just I don't know what I'm saying there. Yeah, just that it's like someone that you can't say anything deep, and it's just like you said, it's different. I mean, it's not what it was, but it been nothing would be. You talk to anybody who's 23 and they turn 40 or 43,
Yeah.
the life is different for them too. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's just a different trajectory than you expected it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So do you have any siblings?
I have a sister.
Sister?
She's in Toronto, which is 3,000 kilometers from here or so, and she's doing well, but she wasn't injured.
Is she older or younger than you?
She's a year 15 months older.
Oh, that's
So
funny. I have a
yeah,
sister that's 11 months and 3 weeks older than me.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also like as a Irish
So
parents.
I'll turn 41 on July 21st, and she'll be 41 until July 29th, and then she'll be a year older than me again.
Ah,
Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, no, it's
okay.
funny.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah,
was
so
five those like 2 days when she's like, "Hey, Jim, guess what? Guess what? We're the same age." Like, no, we're
yeah, I
not. We're
call
older,
well
man.
on her birthday, I'll call her and go, well, all's right with the world again. You're old.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah, so you must have a great time on her birthday.
yeah, no, it's funny. No, we're close. So are you close with your
Oh,
sister?
very close. Yeah,
It's funny how that works growing up.
yeah,
I don't know how if you guys were close growing up. Like my sister and I, we were always friendly with each other, but we
yeah.
weren't like friends. We didn't have any of the same friends. She was a really good student and I was not. But and then she went to college and we hung out a little bit and it was like she became cool and like we became friends, you know.
Yeah.
And then now we're really good friends. I don't get to, she lives not that far away. She lives in down near Boston, so I get to see her
Oh,
quite a bit. But yeah,
Boston's close to you guys. Like
I'm
when
about
you were
an
at the rehab there.
I was in rehab in Boston for a while.
Yeah.
She was living in California at the time, actually,
Okay.
but now she lives in
Uh-huh.
Cambridge. It's right near Boston with my she's married with she has two sons. So yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's fun to see we're going to Disney in next week.
The
My
world or park.
my mom, my dad are taking my brother, sister, and I, and all the kids to Disney, which will be fun.
Nice.
I'm,
So you
I'm
gonna
the
go
I'm the
Orlando?
yeah, Orlando. I'm the
Oh,
last single
yeah.
kid with no children of his own, and I still got the invite, so I'm
Yeah,
in.
exactly. It's just very positive. So I that's the same like the same as me. I'm like they always single not same as me, but like it's
Uh,
similar where like they
so
no
you said
kids single
you
and
did you were a triathlete, you said?
yeah. Well, I said no think I was a main thing was triathlon. I did do three triathlons
Wow.
in 7 months, and but that was actually just in the right spot to try it. So, but I was a water polo player for grade eight, so 93 till 03, so basically 10 years. So
Yeah.
that was the sport I was hoping to get back to in the
Mm.
2 weeks after when I started my job. My new job was gonna go to our bowl club, but never had the chance obviously. And now it's probably not gonna happen for a long time if it does,
Yeah.
if it ever does.
What do you have a job now?
No, I do podcasts
Podcast, nice.
and I volunteer at the Rangers Association
Oh, that's
here.
awesome.
And
Is-
yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, no,
And I did have a blog before this about so
yeah.
yeah,
I was blessed. Like I majored in economics, and I thought I was gonna like go to like New York and
yeah,
run the finance of the
a
world, you
hedge
know.
fund
But like,
manager and stuff.
yeah, I well,
Yeah,
something like that, whatever. But like, I don't know. I I like it, and I learned a lot about that, and I still follow the market and stuff. But I don't. I work for my family now. My
yeah,
family's in the pet food business,
I
dog and
heard
cat
that. Yeah,
food.
That's
Yeah, and it's great. Like we actually give 100% of our profits to charity, which is pretty cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, so we donate to service dogs, brain and spinal cord injury causes. It's really cool, but
And
so
actually,
it's really rewarding. It's a rewarding thing.
it is definitely. I think it's. I heard you saying it last time. I think you said you had a dog. Do you have a
Yeah,
dog?
oh
Like
yeah,
a service
he's
dog
the
or a
man. He's
dog?
on the couch right now staring at
Oh,
me.
yeah, is he?
But yeah, he's a good dog. Yeah,
What's
he's
his name?
10 now. It's crazy. I got him when he was like 5 months old, I think. He's so funny.
What's his
His name,
name?
you know, they say dogs and their owners look like each other.
Yeah.
Well, that's true because he has gray hair and I have gray hair, but he's
Yeah.
also alopecia and I'm going bald, so I shave my head now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's what you.
And then when I go out in the winter when it's cold out, I don't wear a coat or winter hat because I can't make him cold. So I'm like, I'm not going to do it to you, buddy.
Yeah.
But it's funny though.
It's yeah.
You have any
I
pets?
don't. I don't have any pets, but I love dogs.
Yeah,
I live in an apartment that doesn't allow pets now, but
yeah,
so I wouldn't. A dog would be great. Like before, when I was in age, like I couldn't handle it because I was living, want to live on my own. I was living my own in a different in Ottawa for a bit, but
yeah,
just to come back kind of to, but so I couldn't own a dog then just because I wasn't able to get out. Then you needed to use the bathroom at like 3 in the morning. I couldn't get up and
yeah,
help them. I
yeah.
can
So, where did you grow up though?
in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I am now. We grew up where I am now, but I moved around Canada to go to university. Went to
So it's
university in Ontario and BC, and yeah,
so
and now,
you said so now you're in Newfoundland. You said.
yeah, Newfoundland Labrador. It's named a whole
Yeah,
nother
you
part.
know where I went for work. Can't remember the name of the town. I believe it was Moncton,
That's New Brunswick. Yeah,
New
New Brunswick.
Brunswick. Yeah, I went
That's
up there.
1,500 or so kilometers away.
That's a
Not,
beautiful area up there, though.
yeah, it is like that's it's a nice area. Like I obviously I love Newfoundland. Love my home. I love the ocean, but
Yeah,
limited by what but for now, as they
yeah.
say, always improving. Always trying to improve. And neuroplasticity is under
Uh,
I don't know under what never represented under reported, I guess, how beneficial neuroplasticity is and how much what
Oh,
it
it's
does.
amazing. Like because when you think about it, I remember like when they were explaining my injury to me, the neurologist, and
Yeah,
it's depressing when you hear
yeah,
like brain cells, they
yeah,
die, they don't heal. It's
yeah.
like, oh, so I'm never gonna move my arm again. I'm never gonna like whatever. But then
Mm,
like neuroplasticity, you just create these new pathways. It's crazy.
it's wild.
And
Only
they know
I
they're learning more and more about it
mean, it's
all
just
the
amazing how
time.
much we don't know about the brain, which is in our
We
own
don't
head.
we don't know more than we know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It's like the Don Rumsfeld quote, like, no, it's not a quote, it's these from like known unknowns, unknown knowns, unknown, no, I don't know, get all that.
oh, the
Knowns,
old Secretary of Defense, Donald
yeah,
Rumsfeld.
yeah, known knowns, unknown unknowns, and known unknowns. But this
Oh,
is,
I think I know it was at a press conference or something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, he was talking about the Warner Act
yeah,
and the weapons of mass destruction, but like the whole the idea of the known unknowns and unknown or known unknowns. We know we don't know.
eh,
We know, so the brain is like a known unknown. We know we don't know. But
yeah.
yeah. But I think I could really talk forever, but we should probably wrap this up soon so it doesn't. But I
Yeah,
could.
no, it's great talking to you.
But
Do
I definitely I'll end the podcast here. But I'll give you a chance to say your Instagram after I start the podcast, if you don't mind.
sure. So I
But yeah, where where people can reach you if they want to reach out for a speaking engagement.
so if you go on my on the website www.morethanaspeedbump.com, there's my email address on there is jim@morethanaspeedbump.com, and I'll respond to that. Um, I'm on Facebook as well, but the best way to reach me is probably through email. But any kind of outreach or anything in the community, I'd be very interested in hearing about it.
Oh, great, great. So that's those links will be in the more than a speed bump or more than a speed bump.com and Jim Scott. And I will definitely have all those links in the description for this podcast. And
Awesome.
thank you so much. And like I said,
Thank you. It's great to meet you.
yes, please stick around for a second after I stop this recording.
Awesome.
I want to say thank you, but thank you everyone for listening.